Tested 1 2. Tested 1 2. We on? We on? You sure? Okay. Hey, this is the resistance. We have food and water, and we have shelter. If you're out there, meet us out by the farthest creek when the sun sets to the east. But you be angry at yourselves for not cultivating a mindset to help our own people. Be angry that our ancestors didn't fight hard enough to keep us off of slave ships. Be angry at the traitors among our people that helped us get on slave ships. Be angry at what you didn't do for your communities. Be angry that you didn't feed your women and children. Be angry that you didn't cultivate the other mindset to build any business or economics to rise the people up. Be angry at that. Don't be angry at white folks for taking over what you didn't want. Be angry that you couldn't protect it. And again, this is a resistance. And we have food, water, shelter, and medical supplies.
Peace, peace, Ashe, Hotep, Amen, Amen, Ra, Amen. Power to the people, power to all people. And today we're going to be talking about Byron Allen versus Comcast. Now, Comcast is the nation's largest cable network. Most of you should know who Comcast is. We all have our internet, our Wi-Fi, our house phones, our cable. Now, who is Byron Allen? Byron Allen has filed a $20 billion lawsuit against Comcast. He is a 58-year-old African-American entrepreneur. He hosted the show Real People in the 1980s. It was on NBC. He is the founder of Entertainment Studios, which includes the Weather Channel, and he acquired it last year for $300 million. Byron Allen filed his lawsuit against Comcast because they turned down a deal to carry 6 of his channels. Now, he says it's a violation of the Civil Rights Act of 1866, Section 1981. And it basically says that black people or African Americans will have economic inclusion and will have access to government and commercial contracting. So he filed this lawsuit against Comcast saying that Comcast basically wasn't including black people, African Americans, with a fair share of economic inclusion. He also spoke out against the NAACP, the National Urban League, and Al Sharpton's gang. He said they were essentially bought off by Comcast because Comcast donates money to them. Now, he said they were bought off in an agreement that Comcast had struck with black leaders and organizations in 2010 in order to get clearance to purchase NBC Universal. Now, if you remember back in 2010, Comcast wanted to buy NBC. Before they did that, they had to get clearance, and they made this agreement. Now, side note, Mark H. Moralia, the president of the National Urban League and a negotiator of the 2010 agreement, he actually sits on a Comcast advisory council. Just want you to know that. As part of this deal that went on, the conglomerate agreed to add 4 new African American owned networks over 8 years. 2 of those networks were owned by Sean Combs, the mogul, Magic Johnson, the former basketball player. Excuse me. Now, Byron Allen he stated, "I never said you don't put black faces out there. I said you don't provide true economic inclusion." Comcast said it spent about $13.2 billion on programming last year, but a spokeswoman declined to say what share of that went to black-owned networks. I believe the figure was $30 million that actually went to black-owned networks. That's $30 million out of $13.2 billion. So we can't even get a bill, right? Black-owned networks can't even get a billion. Forget about half. We can't even get a billion. Something to think about. Now, there are also black elite, black celebrities, black business people who are supporting Byron Allen's case. And I love this because I was wondering whether they were going to speak out or not. And they did speak out. And that's what we got to do. We got to show support. Now, Paula Williams Madison, she's an American journalist, a writer, a businesswoman, and the former NBC Universal executive. She's now the CEO of a family investment group based in Chicago. and the owner of a channel which Comcast distributes, and they have been distributed since 2005. The name of the channel is the Africa Channel. He basically says Comcast is not showing the love and support. And by love, I mean money, the economic love. She said the 2010 agreement between Comcast and the civil rights group failed to position the black-owned networks for success. And at the time that this agreement was taking place, she was the chief diversity officer at NBC Universal. So she helped make the deal. Another a celebrity who spoke up is P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs. He is the owner of Revolt. He basically said the same thing. Comcast, do not use me as your token black man because y'all not showing the love and support. And by love and support, I mean money, that economic love. P. Diddy even said, he stated, our relationship with Comcast is an illusion of economic inclusion. It's an illusion. So it's not even, they're not, basically we're not getting the amount of money that we're supposed to be getting. It's just that simple. We getting crumbs. They open the bag of potato chips, they finish the bag, and then they give us what's left. That's exactly what we're talking about right now. So this is what it means for black people. It may not affect all black people on a day-to-day basis, because maybe we don't have stocks in these companies, or we don't have companies that can actually be distributed by cable right now. But if you want to get to that level, if you want to support somebody on that level, this is important because it affects our civil rights. We should be able to do whatever the hell we want. Like, we want to get money there, we should be able to get money there, and they're supposed to respect that, and they're not respecting that. So I support this case. But let me finish though. Even some of the civil rights organizations that Byron Allen had won against in the beginning, they came back and now they supported him too. The NAACP, they held a teleconference with Senator Kamala Harris and Cory Booker, and they denounced Comcast for the actions that they felt were putting the civil rights at risk. Because Byron Allen, he sued Comcast, right? But then Comcast came back with like a counter sue, and they basically trying to get rid of the Civil Rights Act of 1866. Basically saying that Byron Allen has to prove racial bias. And basically what that means is it makes it harder because you can't prove racial bias unless you in the meeting and you hear somebody, like you recording what's going on in there. You can't really prove that. So it's making it harder to prove that you're really being discriminated against. But if you look at the numbers will show you that you're actually being discriminated against. 13 billion, 30 million. Come on, man, do the math. You can't do that math in your head, write it on a piece of paper. Look at the zeros. The NAACP said this is a major corporation. No, sorry, Mr. Booker said this is a major corporation that is deciding to defend themselves in this case by tearing down a significant aspect of our civil rights protections. One of Dr. King's daughters, Bernice King, she wrote a letter to Comcast. Representative Bobby Rush, Democrat in Illinois, he has written letters to Comcast questioning his decision to pursue this case in the Supreme Court. Now, some black people are even supporting Comcast. I think his name is Yves Bolonga. He's the black network owner of Afro, which is also distributed by Comcast. And this is what he had to say. He said, rejection should not always equate to racism. Byron Allen is putting civil rights protections on the line. Coon. What do you scared? I don't even think this guy is even American. And I'm not saying that to be discriminatory, but man, our ancestors paved the way in this country. So you either get down or you with the enemy. That's it, man. You need to choose a side. Either you with fighting for black people's rights or you with the enemy. Because we laid the groundwork for all immigrants. Shoot, there was different white groups now that weren't even considered white until the establishment needed them so they could boost their numbers against us. We laid the groundwork for all immigrants. So don't ever forget that, man. So you need to pick a side, Mr. Yves Balanga. Fuck. But it was Comcast who attacked the civil rights laws that protect us, so we could get economic inclusion. And this is just something that we got to pay attention to. So I fully support Byron Allen. I hope more black businessmen and businesswomen, more black entrepreneurs, more black celebrities stand up and they work with him, because we gotta get this money, man. We gotta get this money every way possible, because once we get this money, we could rebuild this entire world, man. Black world order. You already know what type of time I'm on. Alright, it's QP the Preacher. Peace, peace. Hotep, amen. Power to the people, power to all people.